Greetings and welcome to Factorio 0.16. I'm KatherineOfSky and this is the update we've all been waiting for. I'm in my entry level to mega base factory, as you can see out here, and we're going to be using this map to discover some of the new things that have come with this new update. So the very first thing that I'd like to talk about are the very most anticipated features, that being the buffer chests, the logistics buffer chests, and the artillery train. But not only do we get an artillery train, we also get artillery wagons, artillery turrets, which are standalone artillery things, shells, and targeting remotes. So we better research those. Let's also get our cliff explosives, because we're going to look at cliffs and try to get those made. Just need to get these guys researched. We also happily have research for artillery shells shooting speed. And it goes 1 to infinite, and we also have artillery shell range, also 1 to infinite. I'm really curious to see how those grow. So I'm going to let those research, and I'll come right back. All right, we now have the ability to make the artillery turrets, and let's get the artillery shell range. Let's get at least one of those researches coming along. In the meanwhile, I think we should make one. So let's make an assembler for artillery turrets here, and get what they need to be made. They need some steel plate, concrete, iron gear wheels, and advanced circuits. What an interesting recipe. I'm really excited to see recipes with more stuff like for concrete. It's kind of cool. Oh yes, and another new feature that we absolutely are gonna love is when we copy the recipe, it's not going to just do a simple 10 times or whatever times copy to the requester chest. It's going to give it 30 seconds worth of request of this. So let's see, this is taking 40 seconds to make, so it's going to request even less of the materials, which is awesome. This is very, very cool. Okay, so let's make 1 stack of these things and see how that works. Now, we also would like to make a let's make some shells for this artillery thing. We also need to make artillery wagons. So is this it? Okay, artillery shell. All right, we need explosive cannon shells, radars, and explosives. So let's just do the same thing there. Just put this here, another one of these here. All right, and these guys are going to be here. Again, we'll limit this to like, I don't know, 5 squares. And copy and paste this. Very nice. And I need to check probably if I have explosive cannon shells made in my base. I'm almost sure that I don't. Let's see, explosive, no, I don't. But I can make them because they shouldn't be that bad. I'll make them right over here. Like this. And, oopsies. Let's get these there. Going to copy this whole setup. Whoopsies. Definitely need a power pole in there. All right, good. So we're going to get this to be making explosive cannon shells and hopefully get all the things sorted out. All right, so that's going to make those. All these other things are going to make everything else. And we also need to set up a new assembler for our artillery wagons. All right, what are those looking like? Here they are. Wow. They're gonna look cool. I saw the picture on the Factorio Friday Facts, and you know, it wasn't colored in, so we're really curious to see what textures they added to the wagon. I'm very excited about this. People have already been writing into me and saying, "Oh, you should do this. You should do this kind of thing." Like, one suggestion was a one-way train track around the outside walls and have the train stopping and killing biters every 5 minutes. And then another person had said, you know, just put the wagons at the walls. But now looks like we have the turrets themselves, which is going to be really nice. So hopefully my base will get some stuff going on here. Looks like we're a bit short on red chips, but that's okay. The other thing that we would like to make is the logistics buffer chests, which I have been looking forward to these so much. They're very, very cool. And we're going to talk about how those work. In fact, there's a very nice wiki article. If you go to the Factorio wiki, let me just point us to that real quick. And it explains exactly how they work without having to worry about it. Just look at the wiki. You don't have to try to find any other tutorials. Basically, they can request items, and those items are only given out to the player or to construction robots. They're not given out to other logistics things, like they're not given out to requester chests or things like that. So they just give an example of you could use this as a portable sort of construction fill me up kind of a thing, or you can do it for construction by robots, like if you're building a wall or whatever, or just to get materials from here to there. Now they also say as a filter for storage, but I don't understand quite how that works because they do not provide to the logistics network. So if you wanted to have your ore in a chest, those would not be taken by requester chests for smelters. So I'm not quite sure what that's trying to tell us, but that's okay. We're going to go back to our game here. Alrighty, and we're back. We see that this machine is, I put some speed modules because, man, it is slow. We've got 3 artillery turrets. I'd like to see the range on these guys. We also have shells. These are 1 shell per slot, which is like, whoa, okay. Alright, so let's get some of these shells. You know what? I'll leave them in here, and I'll have them be requested. Alright, let's take these. Whoa, hey, look at this. I wonder if they turn around. Okay, these are pretty simple. It's like, all right, they just take 1 item. So what we're going to do is we'll just set up our requester chest and load the item. And you're going to request artillery shells. Maybe have it request like a couple of them. I don't know. Like, I don't know, or 5. Let's have it request 5. Oh, it can be loaded with stuff. Look at that. How many? I wonder how many it can be loaded with. 5. Okay, so it can only have 5. Now that's an interesting thing, that the stack size here is different than the stack size in a chest. So let's look at this thing. What are we talking about when we're looking at this distance here? So we are here, but it's not showing me. Is this the coverage of this artillery turret? I'm guessing so. So we may have to get really close to the biters for this. I'm guessing it's this green thing. Now, one of the things that I've noticed on the map is the change in the colors. It looks quite dull to me. And I kind of preferred the water to be a little bit bluer and stuff. But it's interesting. So yeah, I think this is it. You can barely see this or maybe it's this coverage. Is it that one? Oh, you know what? I bet it is. Okay, I bet this small circle is the coverage that it doesn't have, i.e. it can only shoot far away. Whoa, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed. All right, so let's get this guy going here. We're going to take some shells with us. We're going to test out this range of a thing. Maybe somewhere where we have a few biters cropping up, because obviously the mods have not been updated for 0.16 and we're just going to have to get some. But before we do that, okay, we're going to take one of these with us. We're going to take some shells. We're going to take some turrets. We have 3 turrets on us. Let's get the wagons going. That would be these guys. All right, let's take the stack. And we're going to take our providers. Now, let me demonstrate the passive providers, or the buffer chests. Pardon me. What am I talking about? They're called buffer chests. And what we want to do is we want to say, maybe request some building supplies in here. So what we need to do is say, I don't know, let's get some. What do I need? I don't need anything at the moment. You know what? Let's put these artillery shells in the trash, and then we'll request some. So we'll have this thing, request artillery shells. And, where are they? There they are. There's new icons. I'm getting used to the whole thing. So anyway, these guys are going to bring artillery shells into this chest. And if I request them now, there we go. We'll get 5. they'll bring them from this chest instead of going all the way back over there, wherever. They'll bring them right to me, which is very, very handy, I think. This would be really great for long-range construction projects. I don't know if anyone remembers my Tasty Vanilla series or the Belt Diva series, where I had these huge long chains of RoboPorts stretching just for construction purposes, and it took ages for me to get replenished with supplies. In fact, I almost always went back to the main base to get stuff. But this can pre-request stuff, and you can be fulfilled pretty much anywhere you go. So I really like that. Or you can even just pick it up yourself. So I really like that feature. That's such a nice thing. Okay, next thing we want to look at is the artillery stuff. All right, as I was preparing my train, I came across something quite interesting. And that is an automatic feature, which you can turn off actually. Oh boy, okay. Oh dear, oh dear. No, don't do that. Don't do that thing. Don't want to do that. I'm just going to park my old building train here. And what I noticed is that when I went into signal mode, it automatically shows the block visualization here, which it looks actually quite nice. I kind of like it. It's good. This option can be turned off in the new interface options. It's right over here if you prefer not to have them on. But if you are new to rail signaling, it's going to be a really great help. So let's just turn it right back on here. There we go. Okay, cool. Wow. It's a lot of colors, but I think we'll probably get used to it soonish. And it'll enable us to see, where the blocks are and how our trains are going to interact with each other. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and build we're going to build a special train for all of this fun stuff. We're going to get our regular train car, which is right there. And we're going to build, we've got to build a bunch of stuff. So we're going to get different things. And then we're going to put our artillery wagons on the end of this thing. Let's put like all of them. There we go. And then how are we going to load these things? I think we need to have a car at the end, at the very least, to have some ammo in here. So let's get a requester chest. And I think I'll grab this one here. What is this? Why is, oh, that's right, we're on map mode. Okay, gotcha. We'll just place these down there, and they're going to request some ammo for us. Get a little power pole. Go, go, go. All right. And so this will be requesting this stuff. We'll just fill this up. I would love to see a way to fill up these wagons with a specific single product to filter them all together. But we didn't get that in this update. But maybe it will come soon. Who knows? It would be great if it does. And then I guess we can probably just grab some. Whoops, I meant to control click those. Okay, and then I'm just going to control click them. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. That ain't good. There we go. I want to see how many shells one of these can take. Ooh, a whole bunch. Or not. Can it take 2 more? 11. 12. Okay, I guess it can take a whole bunch of shells. All right, I'm going to let the factory make some more shells, and I'll also build the train track down probably to this area so we can talk to these biters with our weapons and guns ablazing. Alrighty, as I'm going out into the wilderness here, I'm noticing that first of all, the solar panels look completely different. They must have gotten their new HD sprites and everything, and the trees are also looking more beautiful. We're building this rail line out here. Let's see. Oh, and let's check out the whatchamacallits. These lakes. Ooh, this is interesting. It's kind of this like a little tiny, almost like a cliff-looking texture. Just very, very much a vertical face on these things. They're not. And I think the beaches are the ones that sort of blend in with the ocean. One interesting thing is that when you place down items like walls, they no longer can cover this tile. So this should really help with a lot of the confusion that I see new players having of, you know, they never built to the edge. And look at this, it's kind of cool how it's like finished off like a little bit diagonal. I never noticed that before. I don't know if that was in before or not, but it does look very cool. Oh my god. There's some biters here. I might die. Okay, let's put on my armor here. Can I just, how can I set these for automatic firing, man? Oh boy, they're probably, they may just be too close for automatic firing. Wow, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, maybe. I'm gonna try not to die. Let my shields charge up a bit. Wow, so many biters. Lots and lots and lots of biters. Those artillery wagons, I don't know if they have any shells in them. They should. I don't know why they don't have shells. They killed some of my wagons that did have shells, because my wagons had something like 50 shells each in them. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they did shoot at stuff, because I can't remember if there were biters here or not. I wonder if they did shoot at things. Alright, let's go back and see if we can reconnect parts of this train. Okay, go back there. G, okay. Ooh, they did extend their turrets. Okay, so I'm guessing these must have already fired. Well, 73 and 63. Would be nice if we could see how many bullets they had on each of these things. Now, is there a way to, like, just shoot? Okay, so this maybe killed this base here. Let's see if it kills that one. If we go forward here. Or better yet, let's just take a turret. Let's take one of our turrets. Oh, that's a radar. I don't want a radar. I want a turret. So if I put this turret here, give it some shells. Is this close enough? Yeah, this is well within range. All right, let me go and grab some more shells from the from the train. I don't know if we can automatically fire from those turrets or not. Not really sure about that. I wonder if I have any lasers anywhere. I don't think I have any. It's kind of like, whoops. All right, because I want to see this work, man. I really want to see this work. In fact, I think I'm going to grab this, take it down here. Let's just see if this works. Don't know if these guys are in range or not. Oh my god, they are in range. Holy fuzzy cats. There it goes. There they go. And the biters are not doing much. They are shooting shells for sure. There they go. Shooting away. Let me put some shells in this guy here. Here, have some. Cool. Let's watch this on the map. Okay, they're all shooting at these biters. Oh my god. Wow. Alright, I'm going to try to protect my turrets here. Just with my personal lasers. They'll probably destroy the turrets. But I'd like to protect especially the train turrets as much as possible. Yeah, but this is interesting. This is really very much what the devs mentioned. Oh my god, they're chewing on the train over here. Whoops. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. Robots, help fix this thing! Do I have any repair packs? Yeah, I do. I have 52. That's enough. But, yeah, remember the devs said that these artillery turrets would have to be protected, and sure enough, there it goes. Oh, and my turret got disabled there. Alright, do I have any grenades or anything? I have nothing. Nothing offensive. I wanted my artillery turrets to protect me. It's all good, though. It's all good. At least we found out that they can work. This is very, very cool, I think. I also really would like to generate some new chunks. I want to see these cliffs for myself. Let's see. See if there are any around. It's interesting. The new HD textures look kind of cool. So we're going to have weird landscapes. This is, you know, the difference between 0.15 and 16. You always get these very strange coastlines or just breaks in terrain here. Let me put on my other armor. So we're going to walk faster. Let's see, where are the new chunks? The new chunks will be this way. If I can get through this biter nest. Are there still biters here? Yeah, there are definitely biters there. Stay away from them. Just like give them a wide berth. Is this just going to end in ocean and I won't be able to explore? No! Oh boy. There's those biters. Oh, game. Game is trolling me. Alright. Well, don't worry. We will check out this new terrain. Oopsies. Oh. Come on. Let's walk through the trees. Walk, walk, walk. There we go. Let's see if we can go down here and generate some new chunks and see if we can come across these cliffs. I'd really, really like to see them. Where are they? What is this? Is this a new rock? Big sandy rock. Cool. Alright. Kind of zooming out so I can make sure and avoid any biter nests. Oh, look at that. Look at how the this transition into the water. That looks kind of cool. And of course the sand. Sand is a little softer. It's almost like a beach kind of a thing. Very nice. Alright. Cliffs, where are you? I want... I don't think we're going to get any. So that brings me to the next part of this video, and I would like to show you the brand new terrain generation options. So let's go and check that out. Terrain Gen has seen some awesome new improvements. We have even new basic settings. We've got a Death World Marathon. That looks interesting. But let's go with maybe rich resources. And what's interesting is, okay, here we have our resource settings are separated from other things. We have terrain settings here, starting areas, water. We can choose grass, dirt, sand, desert, trees, enemy bases, and cliffs can all be chosen. So I want to say very low, maybe very big on cliffs, or actually maybe low and very big on cliffs. Let's have trees be very low, very small, and richness very poor trees. We don't have no trees, but man, we gotta, yeah, it's just awful. Okay, water very low and maybe very big. And look what we can do. We can generate a preview. Is this not gorgeous and glorious? Wow. This is so cool. And you can even kind of zoom around and look at stuff. Oh my god, that is cool. So let me go back. You can regenerate. Speedrunners are absolutely going to love this thing. Absolutely going to love it. Let's see. We can go grass. I like sand. Very high frequency, very big. Actually, very low, very big. Dirt. I don't know if this still uses the same noise algorithm. We'll see. We'll go this very low, very big. That's how you would always get like big patches of stuff when you look at resources. Also, one of the new things in Terrain Gen. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Look at that. One of the new things is that resource patches have been altered, and now they're 3 times more scarce. They're more spread apart to kind of encourage more rail building and that kind of things. Also, the starting area is by default going to have a lot less trees in it. One thing also, uranium will not be found in the start area, so I have to go out and explore. You can see that it's quite far away from me in this map that we've generated here. I'm wondering if these are cliffs out here. That looks pretty cool. I'm betting those are cliffs. They look kind of neat. Let's see what else I'm reading here on the thing. Let's see, and all of the terrain, of course, has transitions with water, as we've seen. And resources scale slightly less over distance. And also, the devs have added, they've gone through and calculated how much iron you need for a typical kind of endgame base, and they discovered that you needed much more iron than had been generated on the maps previously. So there's 1.49 times more iron to compensate for those kinds of things. So let's, actually this looks really interesting. I want to see what the heck this looks like in the world. Wow. We're here. Oh, look at these cliffs. Oh my god, they're so tasty. These are gorgeous. Oh, like you can't walk through them. You can't fall down them. You can't jump down. Now, I was wondering about that. You cannot. Okay, so this is a transition, but this cannot. You can't. All right. Wow. This is so cool. This looks like the surface of the moon here, but when you're actually on the ground, this just looks incredible. Oh, this is really, really nice. Holy fuzzy cats, this is great. Whew, okay, wow. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So, wow, I'm really excited about this. Let's go and try, let's quit the game. What if we restart? What does it give us the same map, or does it give us a different map? Okay, it's given us a different map. Wow, these cliffs just look so dramatic. Look at all this like mossy stuff, or like fern. I don't know what these are. There's little bits of grass that just really make the whole place look very, very much kind of real looking, you know? It's just really nice. I don't know about the shadows on this here. This looks a little bit too heavy maybe, but the cliffs are so good. Oh my god. Big sandy rocks we have here. Oh, and it even tells you how many resources you get. That's nice. This is great. This is totally going to change the way we play the game. I mean, presumably, if you play with, like, you know, if you don't deform the terrain. That's what we were talking about earlier in the tech tree, is the cliff blower upper thingy. What is it called? It's called cliff explosives, right? You need explosives, grenade, and an empty barrel. That's good. That's pretty neat. I like that the cliffs are being used very much. There's like dips, and then there's raised areas. It looks very much more 3D. This is going to completely change the way we deal with biters, I think. This is great. All right, let's go and go again and look at the map editor some more. Let's, no, back. Go away. Shoo. All right, we want to go terrain settings. Oh, it saves your settings, which is very nice. What if we did frequency high, very high cliffs and very big? Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to generate. I meant to look at the preview. Pardon me. There we go. Generate preview. That's what I should have done. Well, let's see where these cliffs are. Oh my god, there are tons. So maybe this works like expected, like you would think of it. Doesn't necessarily use that noise algorithm. Yeah, let's generate this and see what this looks like on the ground. Holy fuzzy. This is game changing is what this is. Can you imagine building a factory around here and just saying, you know, no, we're not going to use explosives. And this is our start area. And we can't go too far out of our start area because there are biters. Oh, and by the way, biters have been reduced slightly. Just generally. Wow, this looks so cool. See, we have like almost 3 heights. It looks like 3 heights. Obviously, you know, in the game it's just 1, but it gives a great sense of terrain. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about that, to be honest, because I like Factorio as a 2D thing, but man, this looks amazing. And this is going to really change how we play the game, I think. This is so cool. I've been really wanting some more kind of like natural obstacles, and this is just awesome. But of course, if you don't like natural obstacles, you can turn them completely off, or you can use the cliff explosives to get rid of them. That's always an option. Very cool. So, all right, let's go and see some other parts of the patch notes. All right, I've kind of come out of my factory so that I could build some things and show you some interesting stuff. What I'd like to do is show you a new feature, which is what the ghost copier was doing. So if I blueprint just some assemblers here, and I put them down, I have no robots on me. Nope, I didn't have any robots on me. Pardon me. How did that even happen? I wasn't even gripping this thing. That's so weird. All right, try this again. Right, I don't even know how that happened. Right, we're gonna get this down. Ghost copier functionality. We're gonna pick up an assembler. So this is very good for early game when you don't have robots. And you can see it copies automatically the thing underneath. You can see that it is tuned right now for low density structures. We did get new icons. Here it's saying, oh my god, we don't have no modules, we have no power, we're gonna die. But it copies the whole thing, and it's a very, very handy functionality for us. So I'm really liking that. Let's get our robots back. There we go. Right. Belts and underground splitters can now replace each other. That means if you want to take a diversion off a stone line, before you had to right-click and remove the thing. No more. You can just plop it on down and have this happen. You can do the same here, like that, and it will remove the belts in between, which is extremely handy at times. And you can also filter your main inventory, so you can say, aha, I want this one to always be, I don't know, engines, and it'll put the engines there. And let's see what happens when we do blue circuits. Right, takes them from there and puts them down there. This could be really handy for something like, say, Power Armor Mark II, or for KOS specifically, offshore pumps, because I always miss them. So this would be a really cool thing to have, and you can say, oh yeah, I have this much ammo, or this is where my power suit is if I want to change it out real quick. And you can do that with any square. You could say, I want my first one to be, whoopsies. Can if I pick this up and I plop it, will that work? No, that doesn't work. Plop this. No? Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to get... Maybe you would just have to empty your inventory altogether to get the first ones to be other things. Pardon me, my cat is deciding that fun is over here. Yeah, that's the meowing as I'm shooing her out. Okay, cat. That's Araminta, unusually. She's in a mood today. Okay, next item that is on the patch notes is... when you place underground belts and pipes, they retain their types. And it's much easier also to place underground pipes, especially if you're not walking in an exactly straight line, like if you're going through a forest, for example. So let's make this stop blinking there. Dropping items on a belt will no longer overflow them. So if we try this, okay, we'll just go, I think is it Z? So if they can't fit anymore on there, it won't go all over the place. So that's kind of nice. It won't go like on the sides. I like that because before it would just kind of like be annoying and get everywhere. So, all right, and electric poles. The small ones are now fast replaceable with the medium ones, which a lot of us have been looking for a long time. Let me go and see if I have any small poles with me. I can craft some. I think I'm trashing them. I'm auto trashing the poles here. All right, let's put a couple of these guys down. There we go. Small poles, fast replace with medium. Boom. Fantastic. Oh yes, this is another happy thing. That is a good thing for KOS. See, now this is what I'm not immediately crazy about. This is water. I know it's water because it's a funny shape, and I remember this when I first entered the map. But it doesn't look like water. It almost looks like iron ore. I feel like the colors on the map, the overview map and the mini map, are kind of dull looking. I don't know. Anyway, offshore pump. You can now... It's highlighted places where you can place the pump are now in little green squares. You can see exactly where you want to put it. Let's see. Ah, yes, and blueprint previews. Do you remember when we used to make blueprints of pipes And let's see. Yeah, this is a good example. These are now connected instead of being kind of all over the place. See how they're very nicely connected? The same thing used to happen with belts, especially the corners. Let's just see, look at this. The corners are now that, remember it used to be like a straight thing and then another straight thing? So that is a nice little improvement that we've seen. Let's see. Yes, copy paste from assembler to requester chest. Now has the, it goes for, I think it goes for like 30 seconds or something like that. And the interesting thing is, as I've been improving my, well, I loaded a different save, but when I was adding different beacons and stuff to the artillery that I was constructing here, it does take into account the speed beacons and the productivity modules and just the speed of the machine. You can repaste the request on the requester chest when you have more modules inserted, or if you know, the speed of the assembler changes. It won't automatically change, which might actually be a nice thing to have, maybe a toggleable option or something. But yeah, that's a really nice change for us. Let's see. One interesting thing that I don't particularly like is creating blueprints and using the deconstruction planner in map overview mode skips entities covered by the fog of war. Okay, so if I wanted to blueprint this section of track here, I could not do that. I can start like here and do this, and I'd get a blueprint like this. See this top and bottom stuff? I don't actually like that feature. I hate that feature because I was using the deconstruction planner, remember, to remove some power poles that were in non-radared areas. And I thought that was really handy to be able to do that even if there wasn't a radar there. But so I guess the devs are really wanting us to use those radars, so we must comply. But anyway, that's a new feature. So let's see. Okay, the options have been organized better. We talked a little bit about that earlier. We've got some new interface options, and then there's, you know, graphics, sounds, controls, all kinds of things there that you can look at. Yeah, explosive cannon shells now target the ground where you shoot. Yes, and game save names in the load game dialog that are too long, and I think I might have some of these, will have... I have some in the SpaceX folder. Like, it'll show in the tooltip. This is fantastic because I have a whole bunch of these guys, you know, where I have different names, and I was like, oh no, I can't see it. And you can't move the window. So now it actually does show that, which is really cool. Let's see. Oh yes, and there's a new control option for working around the map. Now, normally I use WASD to go around, but you can actually use the mouse cursor with left click. This is a new default option, and then right click to add a tag, you know, naming spaces like test and putting an icon with batteries, whatever, like there. That's with right click. You have to right click again to alter it. Let's see, what else we have? I am looking. Oh yes, and also apparently building when running at very high speed would create gaps, and these are automatically filled now. I wonder if we can demonstrate this with, like, yeah, there we go. Sometimes, like, when you try to do this kind of thing, it would just like skip a tile. Especially right now I have 5 exoskeletons on and I'm running on pavement, so that's kind of important to note. Now there's a new fuel type that I didn't mention yet, and that is nuclear fuel. It takes rocket fuel plus 1 uranium-235. Fuel value is 1.21 gigajoules. Your trains will run forever. Check out the vehicle acceleration, 180% on rocket fuel and 250 on nuclear fuel, and it will last for ages and ages. So that's another exciting thing that we can look forward to. Let's see. Yes, and probably one of the most exciting things of all, the performance of transport belts in terms of UPS has been improved by 5 times. Oh my god. I sense a new Belt Diva series coming out soon. So anyway, that's really exciting to me because I love belts. I like bots, but I think belts are very, very interesting to make bases out of. So we're going to be trying and testing our limits sometime in the future in a brand new series with this. All right, let's look what else we have. I have, basically what I did is I took the patch notes and I kind of organized them into relevant categories for how I wanted to show things. So in the information category, logistics request tooltips now show the count of items in the requester and on the way. So let's see if we can see that happening. Okay, so it shows delivering 44. Filters, I guess that's requesting 100. And it's showing how many are getting delivered, which is very handy. It shows that, you know, the robots are actually doing stuff. It's kind of like they put in their requests and they're getting stuff done here, which is nice. And the locomotive will now show the train ID in the tooltip. This is good for using in combinator settings. So let's see if I can find a train. Oh, you know what? We'll go over to this less busy area. There are trains over here. We like these trains. These are nice trains. And that is, let's see, where is it? There it is, train ID 399. This one is 196. And that was also 196 because it's part of the same train. But you could actually do that, maybe to send trains places or load certain trains with certain things, possibly. Who knows? It opens up a lot of possibilities here. And also, rail chain signals can now be read by the circuit network. Speaking of trains, we have, as I showed before, the train block visualizations. If you get into a signal, it shows the different blocks that are near each other. And wow, we have too much of that over there. Yeah, we can make these blocks a little bit bigger. Can help you optimize your areas of train tracks. I probably could use another block there. Let's see. Train schedules and wait conditions can be rearranged by clicking and dragging. This is what I've been wishing for, like on that last episode or two of stuff. Look at this. You can move them. You can move them everywhere. It's lovely. It's so good. Can we click them from... Let's see. Can we click them from here? No? Okay, that functionality is not built in yet, I guess. The devs were teasing in one of the FFFs about being able to click on a train station and it would add it to the schedule. But that's not implemented just yet. I thought I would check, though. I thought I would check. That's something I'm really waiting for. Also, trains do not need to come to a full stop when manually changing train destination or switching from manual to automated mode. So remember, they always used to stop when you changed over. And then when two trains are being merged, the decision which schedule should be used has been changed from bigger schedule to schedule that has the latest change. So that might affect you. And of course, we have the nuclear fuel for the trains. Also has been added a mini tutorial for construction robots. I wonder what that is. Can we see that? Tutorials. Ooh, there's basic logistics system. Oh, that's cool. All right, I'll let you guys figure that out. Oh, there's one here. Basic logistics system, and then construction robots are right there. So check that out when you get into the game. Let's see. Roboports now provide repair packs they have for other robots to use. Tanks no longer take minuscule amounts of damage from hitting trees. Thank God. I'm glad they removed that damage thing from trees altogether, because that was just kind of silly. And apparently added sliding when the player collides with water or entities with rotated bounding box. I was looking at the water earlier and I didn't see any sliding, but maybe I was doing it wrong. I don't know. Okay, multiplayer news that we have. The headless server will automatically save the game when the last player leaves and auto pause starts. That is very, very handy. Multiplayer players can now ride as passengers in cars and tanks. That means that you no longer need to have, you know, like a car for each person or a tank for each person. Though I bet you'd probably get better, you know, killing power if you did, unless everybody was wearing armor that had lasers and stuff and everybody could be shooting from one tank. Let's see. And This is one of the important things that we've seen on the MMOs, is that now after desyncing in multiplayer, the game will not automatically connect back. Instead, a dialogue with more information will be shown. That was one of the major problems we had, was where the game kept auto-connecting and auto-connecting, and it was just slowing everybody down. So hopefully that's going to solve one of those issues, and we can have another MMO that will be awesome for us. Okay, let's see. Graphics-wise, we have more entities are in high resolution. Those include the lab, radar, worker robots, construction and logistic, combat robots, combinators, electric and circuit wires. I noticed that the wires look much more visible, like from the power poles. I really like that because a lot of times I couldn't see them. Let's see. Storage tank player. Ooh, the player. That's right. Look at my sexy like orange outfit here. Isn't that cool? Awesome. And I know all the animations had to be done as well in a high definition. Look at this ground. It's so good, this stone paving. Anyway, also solar panels, lamp, roboports, tank, all the terrain has high resolutions, and we have the new alert icons. Now, I have to say, after experiencing these icons for the last little while of kind of playing around and seeing what's in 0.16, I don't really like them. Still don't think that they're very evocative. Like this one looks like a suitcase. What's the suitcase? Storage. I guess it represents a storage box, like a chest. It kind of looks like this chest, but to me it looks like a suitcase that needs to go somewhere. And then these, what are the ones for out of the logistics range? I want to see that. Okay, gotta get out. Oh, here's a nice patch of green. Okay, it still has the alien like saying, "Yo, beat me up." I know some people say that that's a they say it's the Roboport, but I definitely looks like an alien, kind of with the little horns, kind of like an Andorian actually, and then little kind of pointed funky ears, and then a little funny swirly hat. It's clearly an alien and not a Roboport. I really love that icon though. I hope it never changes. It's good. Yeah, this gear icon, I don't know. I don't know how I would represent building materials, but gear doesn't really work very well for me. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I know that the devs are continually improving things and trying out different stuff, so that's just my limited feedback on that. But let's see. All right, so we have a couple of recipe changes as well. As I mentioned before, assembling machine 1 has been removed from production science. Explosives now produce 2 per craft, which will help us with producing these things. Where are they? They're an intermediate product. There they are. There you go. 2 explosives per craft. Now, as I was making all those darn shells for those artillery cannons and stuff, I discovered that you need a ton of explosives. These guys need 2 explosives each. And the shells... Wait, did it not... Oh, this is before I even... Oh, dear. Okay, let me get this research back here for the artillery. Yeah, anyway, those artillery shells, and actually I could look it up right here, they need 4 explosive cannon shells plus 8 explosives. So 4 times 2 is 16 plus 8 is a lot. It's 24 explosives per shell. So that's a significant amount of resources, and I think if you're going to play with biters, that is actually going to be a major industry. I found that as I spent a lot of time off camera just like producing and adding more machines and stuff. It's like, whoa, hold on, I thought I could produce these real quick, but it really wasn't happening. So just be aware of that. Be sure to just scale up your production and have plenty of machines making stuff. Okay, also, apparently slightly adjusted some recipe craft times to better reflect their ingredient count. I have no idea which ones those are. They were not specific. So just be aware of that. And especially if it's science products, use one of the calculators or calculate it on your own. Either way, just make sure you just look at the tooltips and see what's changed. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all for the patch notes. I skipped a couple of items that didn't seem terribly interesting or relevant. So check them out on the Reddit. They are there, and there's a link from the Factorio Discord. Anyway, thank you so very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of 0.16, and I will be starting a new series shortly. A big surprise series, and I hope you like it. So take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time.